had my capsule wardrobe for more than 5 years, I think. Honestly, I'm not sure because it's such a long time, but the point that I'm trying to make is that I had it for long enough to experience some weight changes, some weight gain, some weight loss. And today I want to talk about that and what I personally found that works for me so I don't get stressed, so I still feel stylish and joyful when getting dressed. And to make things a little bit more easier and really helpful, I divided this video into two parts. The first part, I'm talking about you have your wardrobe that you like, but then your body changes. What then? And then the second part is also some general tips on how to invest in your capsule wardrobe, build your capsule wardrobe that will serve you for your future, for years and years to come, so you don't have to worry about weight changes too much, or you don't feel like you wasted a lot of money and you still feel stylish. So we are covering everything, the present and also the future. So when it comes to your wardrobe and the clothes that don't fit you, my rule of thumb is to never ever have them in your capsule wardrobe, or just wardrobe, whatever you have. You don't want to have them in there because every time you're gonna open the closet, you're gonna feel miserable, you're gonna feel disappointed, and it's just gonna be a recipe for a lot of frustration, and mornings are not gonna be enjoyable, or whatever you're dressing, it's not gonna be an enjoyable experience. I learned this the hard way when I was really stubborn in the past, and I just, no, these are my items, I'm not putting them anywhere, they're staying here, and I was just so miserable. So don't do that. Take my advice and just put everything out of your wardrobe. Now that doesn't mean that you have to declutter everything. We're just talking about moving items that don't fit you out of your wardrobe and somewhere else. So once you've done that, then we can decide how to proceed with your wardrobe, what to do with that pile and also with what's left. So for that, I created a little graph or a chart or roadmap with little questions and that lead you to different answers, because in the past, whenever I experienced weight fluctuation, I was really emotional and I was kind of stubborn and I didn't know what to do. So that's why I created a chart that really takes me out of my emotions, so I can almost look at everything from bird's eye view and make a better decision for myself. So this is what I'm sharing, this is what I created that I use myself. So the first question to answer is, do I like my new body? This is a very easy question, a very simple question. Just go with your gut if you feel yes or no, whatever. So if you answer yes, I like my new body, then you also have to answer, is this sustainable for me to attain? If the answer is yes, this is sustainable for me, I like the change, maybe I have to put a little bit of effort in, but nothing, huge of a deal. Taking care of our health, it's a little bit effort, so that's not really a big deal, but as long as it's sustainable, then my advice would be to embrace the change. Declutter items that don't fit you and slowly start building new pieces for your capsule wardrobe and just enjoy the change. Now on the other side, if you feel like you like your body but it's not sustainable to maintain it, you really have to put a lot of effort in, and it's affecting your health or happiness or well-being or anything like that, then my advice would be to just give it a little bit of a pause. Like I said before, you want to put stuff that don't fit you in storage. And also, you can give yourself permission, if you really don't have a lot of pieces you can wear right now, you can give yourself permission to also buy some critical pieces for your new body, but you don't want to declutter anything. Just put it in storage, wait a little bit, and work on your lifestyle so you feel healthy and happy and energetic. And then you can come back to this questionnaire and, answer it all over again, and maybe you're gonna get a different result. Now, if the answer is no, I don't really like my new body, then I would also answer the question, is my lifestyle better? So do I feel healthier or happier, or I have more energy, I'm less stressed, joyful, all of that fun stuff. Now, if you feel better and you say, yes, I am happier and healthier, which is also important, then I would say embrace the change. Because I personally found that feeling healthy and having a good energy is more important than loving every single part of your body. You can learn to do that. And I actually have a video on how I achieved that, which I will link right here and also in the description. So if you're interested, you can watch it later. But I would say that if you feel your lifestyle is much healthier for you and you feel happier, embrace the change declutter the clothes that don't fit you, start building for this new size that you have, and also work on accepting your body as it is. For example, what can happen is that you have a realization that your body is the way it is, and that's absolutely fine. You learn to accept it instead of, compare it, because in the past, my example is I really wanted a slim long torso when I was younger. For some reason, I've seen it everywhere in the magazine. I was like, I want this. But later when I grew up, I kind of realized that body proportions, we all have different ones, and I have shorter torso, it needs a little bit wider. So no matter which diet or exercise I do, I cannot achieve that. And I'm okay with that. Plus, I also learned how to dress my body in a flattering way instead of sticking to trends that don't suit me and then I feel disappointed. So that's what I'm talking about, accepting your body and practicing self-love, and stop comparing yourself to body types that are different than yours, okay? Because someone else may look at your body and they may like something about your body and they're comparing to your body, and it's just waste of time. So this is what I would do if you feel like the change of your lifestyle is positive. Now, if you feel like the change is not positive, I would put all of the things you cannot fit into storage, and I would go out and I would buy a few critical pieces, maybe something like jeans, which are very unforgiving when we gain just a little bit of weight. So maybe you can go out and buy maybe 2-3 pairs of jeans in your new size, but going to the cheaper stores, don't spend a lot of money on this. This is just something that you want to have for right now while you're committed to making some healthier, positive lifestyle changes, because I truly believe that we should feel healthy and happy. And if your body is a result of bad habits that they don't make you feel great, we should absolutely correct that. That's what I believe. I always want to look great, and also I want to feel great, but just be really minimal here. You want to have enough so you feel joyful, that you can get ready in the morning and you don't feel, oh, I have nothing to wear. You don't want to go overboard and just buy and buy and buy, because like I said, this is temporary, and because you have stuff in storage and you're making lifestyle changes, once your new body changes as a result of healthier habits, you can start bringing back old clothes, and you can always reassess whenever you're making a lifestyle change. You can always go through this questionnaire and reassess what you want to do. So this is a really powerful questionnaire that I personally love using, because like I said, it's not so emotional and it makes decisions so much easier. So if it's helpful, let me know in the comments down below and give this video a thumbs up, so I know, I'm providing a little bit of value. Now, I also want to talk about something that I've seen a lot of people do and talk about. I also got some comments, and that some people don't really believe in decluttering clothes that are either too small or too big for them. And that's absolutely fine. I'm talking what works for me, but I understand this is all very personal. It's your money, it's how you spend it, so you can always make your own decision. So if you want to do that, absolutely fine as well. Just make sure that you really always put the stuff you cannot fit into storage. You just don't want to have them in your main capsule wardrobe. And also, this is just my personal suggestion, is to limit yourself to maybe one size bigger, then you have your current size, and one size smaller. So you have 3 different sizes if you want to, but not more. I find that if you have more sizes, it makes dressing a lot more difficult, a lot more stressful, and all of that. So if that is something you want to do, feel free to do that. But like I said, I would limit myself to, 3 sizes max. And now the last thing to talk about before we go into the part 2, and that is how to make sure that you stay on track, because I think that's also an important part of a capsule wardrobe. If you spend the money to find really amazing pieces in the size you feel great in, you look great in, then I think it's worth putting some effort into maintaining that. So my personal experience and the easiest way of how I do that is with a scale, which I know it's not for everyone. You can also do it with a measuring tape or some kind of photos, whatever you like. You just want to find the tool of checking in with your body so you can stay on track. And to show you how big of a difference this can make, I will tell you a story with my relationship with scale and how I now today find it useful for maintaining my capsule wardrobe in the same size. So what happened is that when I was younger, I had a really horrible relationship with scale. I was really insecure. I weighed myself 3 to 5 times a day. I was obsessed. So then I kind of fed up with everything. I decided I don't like the scale and I threw it away. So for a while, I didn't have the scale. I didn't pay attention to it and I just lived my life, which for me at that time was necessary. But then the doggy that we had gained weight and we had to put him on a diet and, you know, watch his weight and what's going on. So we bought the scale, and how I weighed him is I stepped on the scale by myself, and then I took my doggy and I stepped on the scale as well, and then I subtracted everything to see how much he weighed. The point is that I got into the habit of stepping on the scale once a month. So that was the time that I really sustained my weight the best, when I did it once a month. And if something changed and I knew, you know, because I've had some bad habits, I knew, oh, this is not the best habit, and I saw it on the scale, I could quickly correct it because I heard that with planes, they're off course 99% of the time, something like that. So they're off course and they correct, and they're off course and they correct, and they're off course and correct. But at the end, they come to the right destination. Okay. Back to my story. I had the scale, I weighed myself for 2 years, once a month with my doggy, then it was okay, and I decluttered the scale. Shortly after that, the world stopped because we all know what happened. And yeah, slowly I started noticing that some of my pants are tighter, but I didn't think much of it. I was just like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get into them sooner or later. It's gonna be fine. It's not a big deal. And then, you know, slowly things were getting tighter and tighter, but I still didn't get the scale because I thought, no, scales are bad. So 1 year later, my sister brought her scale because she returned from the UK. So for curiosity, I stepped on the scale and I was in complete disbelief. I was like, I cannot believe I gained so much weight. So I thought I gained 2 kilos, 2.5 max. I gained 5 kilos and a half, which I know it's not a huge number, but I'm just trying to make a point that when you're not weighing yourself somewhat regularly, it can happen that you can get really off track and you don't even realize it. Also, I want to quickly add that I always thought that having your clothes as a measuring guide is enough, but this experience completely changed my mind. And for me, I find it much easier to maintain than to let it go and then change everything and, you know, go back, because my weight gain was a result of bad habits. I didn't feel good. So since then, I made some changes and I'm slowly getting back. So this is just my little story. In case this is helpful, I just wanted to share it. And now let's go to part 2, where we talk about how to make sure that we're building a capsule wardrobe that we can enjoy for years and years and years. And we have the favorite pieces that we can wear all of the time. So here, it's something that it's really not, maybe it's not that obvious, but once you say it, it's like, yeah, that's obvious. So the point here is to invest in pieces that are not size related. Something like your handbag, something like your shoes or scarves or jewelry. All of those things you can still wear no matter the change. And if you really find those pieces you love, you're still gonna feel like yourself even when the weight change happens. So if you feel like your accessories or your bags or shoes are not really speaking to you and you really express your personality with clothes, and then when the weight change happens, you feel like I cannot wear my expressive clothes and my accessories are really boring, then you almost feel like you lost something and you feel deprived. But if you find accessories that really speak to you and they really represent you well, then even when the weight change happens, you're still gonna feel like yourself, you're still gonna feel stylish, and you can still wear your favorite pieces. So that's tip number 1. Now, tip number 2 is when it comes to clothing items, and that is to invest in pieces where they are not that tight fitting. So something like coats and jackets, they don't really have to be really figure hugging. So you can invest in those pieces as well to make them good quality so you can enjoy them for years and years and years, and they can be really stylish and polished, and even if the weight change happens, you can still enjoy wearing them and you feel super stylish. Especially if you buy jackets or coats with some kind of a belt, because I find that even if you have something that is a little bit bigger but it has a nice belt so you can create that, you know, silhouette, it's still gonna look amazing even if it's slightly too large at some points. Another great area to invest your money to build your capsule wardrobe are also things that are elastic or stretchy, which means they can, you know, stretch with you and shrink with you. My jumpers, all of those 5 kilos, they stretch with me and now they're stretching back, so I can simply wear them all of the time and they're still comfortable because they're stretchy. So if you have any stretchy jumpers or even dresses, you can still invest in those pieces. So when you're buying, pay attention to that. I personally, when I see dresses with kind of a zipper that are really tight and they are super expensive, I always think twice, because I feel like this one is not gonna be really forgiving. It's not elastic, and you know, I can just wear it like this, and even if I eat too much, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? So you want to pay attention to that when you're buying, and invest more in pieces they have a little bit of a stretch, or if you like the oversized fit, that's perfect, because you can still wear these items for a long time. But it's not for everyone. It doesn't work on my smaller tallness. I'm smaller, so it doesn't work. Just pay attention to that, because it's gonna really save you a lot of trouble in the future. You know, weight fluctuations, if they are not really huge, I think are part of life. Sometimes we're stressed, sometimes we're going through something. It's okay, you know, if it's not too big, if you can still wear the majority of the closet. And also maybe instead of jeans, which are really unforgiving, the ones that I buy, really unforgiving, instead of those, you can maybe have some trousers or pants, because nowadays you have a lot of different models out there that are really stretchy. They have a lot of elastane in them, so you can find those pieces easily and they're gonna just breathe with you when your weight fluctuates, no problem. So this is how I would approach building a capsule wardrobe for, you know, a longer time. Of course, we can always have those special pieces that are not that stretchy, but just be mindful that you don't spend too much money on that, or that you don't really buy too many of those pieces, because as soon as the weight change happens, you're gonna have a problem. Now, another huge part of feeling your best and dressing your best when your body changes is liking your body and liking your style and having that style confidence. And I made an amazing video on this topic that I will link right here. It's really helpful, so I really recommend that you watch it. If you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.